call unto thee, O Lord, and send thou my life to guide us, for we are weak and afraid, and we lack knowledge. There is no one to hear your plea, no one to answer you, no one to ease your suffering. Lord, have mercy upon us.
Hey, welcome to the NY Patriot Show. Here we delve deep into the abyss, covering topics such as occultism, spirituality, secret societies, conspiracies, and the unknown. Join us in trying to put these pieces together and figuring all this shit out. The NY Patriot Show. Welcome back to the NY Patriot Show. I got a very special guest. Well, I have a co-host with me tonight for the live. I have the amazing, wonderful, deplorable Janet. Janet, would you like to say hi? Say what's up to everyone out there?
Did you guys miss me? Thanks for having me back, dude. It worked out amazingly perfect today.
Yeah, that was actually pretty wild how that worked out.
Yeah, you know I love spending time with you.
I was like, she's gonna be like, yo, I have like 30 minutes, no way. And you're like, I'm actually waiting on somebody now. They didn't show up, so worked out good. Gotta
love those no-show guests.
Well, this might have turned out better for you. You never know.
Exactly. And as a sign from the universe, I was supposed to be here.
There you go. That was the show you were supposed to do. I'll go with that. That sounds good. And the guest that we do have on today, I've had him on in the past. He covered D, or he goes by Maroonpeoples. I had him on for the magic and like electricity or something to that effect. I forgot the exact name of the show. Real good show. If you haven't heard it, you're a fairly new listener. Definitely go back to that. Great show, and I had a lot of fans actually ask me to see if I could get the guy back on. And I hit him up, and he told me that he's covered Memetic warfare. And I was like, oh, you definitely got to come on for that shit. And then when he said slides, I was like, oh, hell yeah. So, as people join, as you can see, this guy's already got slides up already. So let me just I'll let you introduce yourself. I'll stop running my mouth. D, why don't you let everybody, I guess, let everybody know who what's up with you, what you're doing tonight. And if you want, you can still remind the people of the other episode you did too.
All right. Thanks for the great introduction, NY, and great to be here with you, Janet, as well. What's going on, people? This is Maroon People. I go by D as well. Glad to be back on for real, man. Like, I really appreciate you giving me the platform to come on and show this information. It's amazing to be able to do it.
Oh, sure.
And have these great conversations with you guys. Really looking forward to it. Yeah, this is a little lecture presentation I put together. It's got a lot of pictures, some reading, mostly pictures, and just a lot of different perspectives and really new ways of looking at memes, something that, is so part of our everyday life in the 21st century that we kind of forget they even here, and how much of a role they play. So this is kind of just my way of, kind of raising a question. And a lot of this information in here, towards the later half of the slides is my own theories, but for the first majority of the slides, it's not. I don't take credit for any of the information. I've just gathered it and made it accessible and organized it in a way that's really easy to digest, because some of this stuff is kind of out there. So
nice. Well, thank you.
We like out there stuff.
Yeah,
yeah, we do.
We've come to the right place.
Yes.
And you mentioned how important memes are and stuff, and it's like if you think of social media, I mean, all right, with Twitter, it's like either it's going to be a video, it's going to be a news link, or it's going to be a meme. And then on Instagram, you can't even post news links, so either it's going to be a meme or a screenshot or a video. So, they're old. It's fucking huge. Memes are like fucking news to people.
Yes. Man, I'm so glad you said that. That's really the thing. Memes are the number one way to broadcast information.
Oh, yeah.
And they've been designed like that from the very beginning. Even I guess you call boomer generation and prior, their memes were in the form of those, like duck and cover and all the cigarettes. They used to promote women to smoke cigarettes while they're pregnant and shit like that, and all that stuff they used to do. They used to put those in picture forms and present it to people like, oh, this is what you should be doing.
Back in my generation.
Oh yeah. So like the 50s and 60s for sure. That's my parents' age. I grew up listening to a lot of that music too. Like Led Zeppelin and all them type of people. So
making us feel our age now.
Nothing new. Yeah, that was the last good rock and roll music that they made.
Oh. No, you're right.
Got over the top of culture. And so in the age of the internet, memes are king. And
yes.
they are really, the number one way that information gets put out and ideas spread and even jokes, because sometimes it's just benign. It's not really too deep. It's kind of like these ones, they're just simple jokes and nothing too deep. But the basic definition of a meme, and this is out of the actual dictionary, I believe it's Oxford. So I just typed it in on Google. An element of a cultural or system of behavior that may be considered to be passed from one individual to another by non-genetic means, especially imitation. A humorous image, video, piece of text, etc., that is copied, often with slight variation, and spread rapidly by internet users. And actually, it comes from a Greek word, memema, which means that which is imitated on the pattern of a gene. So they're literally like digital genes that spread and replicate.
No, yeah, because it's like this. I was saying that before. I said like people think like just something will catch your attention and you'll think like, oh fuck, I just screenshot share. Like you don't even think because it just caught your attention so well, you just automatically think like, oh fuck, this is news, and then you just screenshot it, fucking trim it down maybe. Clean it up if you even do that, because most people don't either.
Depends on how lazy we are.
It's funny how you sometimes you can see like the 3 fucking accounts prior that have already, because nobody cropped the shit. You can see like 3 fucking account names and then the meme.
Exactly. And that's the unseen energy force, that drive that makes us do that, and that's why we share them. It's the truth. It's that compelling kind of force that makes you want to share, like, oh, that's funny, and you don't even think about it sometimes, and that's the thing, they all contain an unconscious energy, so they're in a way they're almost like egregors.
Oh yeah, I was actually gonna say, well, I say it, egregores. I was gonna say memes to me remind me of kind of like an egregore. It's like a big like I hate to say use the term, but it's almost like a hive mind thinking type of thing.
Yeah, it is.
It would be like a cloud just like covering people and kind of just like infecting their mind and making them think the same shit.
Exactly. Man, you already covered the whole lecture right there, the news and the hive mind thinking. Dang.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Right.
See you next time. No.
Gosh, that's really it. And here is really my way of breaking down and showing exactly how they originate. And RIP to 8chan, I used to go on there sometimes. 16chan is where they have all the magicians and stuff, but they took it down. I haven't even gonna find it up, but they took 8chan down. I believe it's kind of like a false flag thing. A lot of these MK Ultra shooters and stuff, whether or not you want to get into that, these people that do crazy stuff and shoot up stuff, they always go on here and they post their crazy manifestos, and then they're like, oh, gotta take the website down, but there's a lot of good conspiracies on there. A lot of good ideas do circulate on there, same thing with 4chan, and Reddit's a little bit more surface level stuff, it's more accessible. That's not necessarily like the deep web. I consider 4chan and 8chan deep web, but Reddit's more of the surface web. And from those websites, they kind of filter up, and you'll get a lot of stuff on 4chan and 8chan on the Twitter, on the the more darker side of Twitter. But then they get, because Twitter's a pretty big pool of people on there, so they kind of filter around, and then they make their way to Instagram and Facebook, which our boy Zuck owns, and that's where a lot of our memes come from, which most people don't even realize that, but it is like kind of like a filter, but it's like trash kind of filtering up, whatever high mindset they want people to have, they kind of doctor it up once it gets to a certain level. But it's that 8chan and 4chan where they really fester and build up.
I remember that back in the day. Like for real, like no lie, like you're right. In my opinion, back in the day, like I would say, like most of the memes that you saw passing around, but this is going back, like 10 years or so. Maybe fucking 20. You know what I'm saying? Like this is going back a long time ago. Most of the ones that you saw floating around probably originated on one of those sites.
They did. All of them. Absolutely.
So.
The OG memes, they did. The OG memes, they absolutely did.
And I've offered, like, now, I want your opinion. Because, I used to go on those sites a long time ago, at least 4chan. And looking back at it now, like, have you ever wondered, like, do you ever think that those things could have been set up just to have anonymous propaganda put out? Like the platform may have, not saying all of them, but maybe some of them might have already.
Yes, 100%. You think so too, Janet?
Yep.
I think at least 8chan was. I think 8chan for sure.
Yeah.
Because of the owner.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say too.
Absolutely.
And yeah. There's no doubt about that. And I would guarantee you've got some 3-letter boys.
Oh, from you.
In there.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Because it's like, we don't have anybody to blame for this misinformation because it's an anonymous post.
Exactly. Exactly. And you can say whatever you want. There's no repercussions. No repercussions. And it's like it's always been part of the culture on there too. I think they call them LARPers and stuff, shit posters. They go on there and they make these, or they I forget what they call them too. There's they got a whole bunch of words for them, but there's I go on polls sometimes from time to time. I try to take breaks because it can be taxing mentally. To read through all the crap just to find the one good thread.
You're right.
And just to find the one good thread. But when you find it, it's like, man, it sometimes it is worth it. Like I found some really good threads on there that I have on my page actually. If you look down far enough, there's a few of them. But there'll be a lot of threads where it's like obvious misinformation and sometimes, but they're usually the most popular ones. They have like 300 replies, so that's all you see. Like you have to go to page 20 just to find some stuff that's not about that one misinformation thread. So it's definitely, I feel like they definitely did set it up to do that for sure, knowing them, because they even created the internet. The whole internet was created by them. There's a great book on it called Surveillance Valley. I have it in my my library. It's a really good book, and it talks about how DARPA, the Advanced Research Projects Agency, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, later ARPA, they created the internet, and it was just a system of link nodes that connected to different colleges, universities, and the military.
At the same time, ironically, that started.
What's funny? What's funny with that? I'm glad you mentioned that because, well, that's not funny. I guess it's not funny to me. Is I know some people tend to get very paranoid online sometimes. Oh my God, I can't talk about this, can't talk about that. They're they're following me, they're listening to me, they're watching my messages. It's just, or I got to start using all these different types of VPNs and all this shit. And it's like, do you realize, like, who handed you the fucking internet?
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
It don't matter.
Well, and think about this too, with the VPN companies and all of that stuff. How do you know that those companies are actually trustworthy? Because look at how like DuckDuckGo came out, and so like everybody left Google and went to DuckDuckGo, and then everybody found out that was compromised, and then they were switching to other stuff, and then like every time somebody went to another place, it was compromised. So how do you know that the VPNs aren't?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad you're on here too, Jan, because a lot of people, especially in my age bracket, like, because I'm 24, and a lot of people my age, they just so enamored by this crypto world and all this online stuff. It's like, I don't care what they say, the blockchain, all this stuff, there's always a backdoor. There has to be.
100%. There is absolutely nothing that is internet based that is safe and secure. And keep those words in mind, safe and secure. Because I can tell you, in all of my years on this planet, and you're the same age as my child, everything that they come out with is in the guise of safe and secure, whether it's, vaccinations, medications, internet, going to electronic medical records. They're safe and secure too. Wanting to put the voting systems on blockchain.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, that works just as good as the Dominion systems, I heard.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. That's
Yo, you know what I was thinking about? I think it was because like a post I made, and then like I think, oh god, False Reality Check made a comment about something. It got me thinking. It's like, we use these credit cards, and like for small businesses, like it costs them money.
Oh,
so
yeah,
most of the time
absolutely.
it goes back to us.
Mhm.
So we're actually probably paying more for shit to use our debit card. Like,
Right.
we're actually, you know what I'm saying? It's not a
Right.
convenience.
Yeah.
And it was genius of them to set that system up, right? Because it was a cash-based society first, and everybody was paying cash for everything everywhere they went. And what a better way to infiltrate, again, online systems, to make online banking. Everybody has to use a debit card. But wait, we're going to make them safe and secure
Yeah.
because we're going to put a chip in
I was
them.
gonna say the
Oh
chip,
gosh.
yeah.
Yep.
But guess what? Those are still not safe and secure.
Nope.
It's a false sense of security.
It is. Look what happened to the Canadian truckers that were protesting the vaccine mandates.
Exactly.
Shut down their bank accounts. They just shut them
Exactly.
down. Nope, you're done. Oh man, my life savings is in my bank account. Well, I guess there goes that. It's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy. It really is. And they even, when I was even visiting out there, visiting my girlfriend out in Canada, I saw in the back they even were writing all kind of jokes and stuff on there about Trudeau and
Mhm.
these mandates and stuff, and they're using me. That's a great example of a meme campaign happening in the physical.
Right.
A great example. And this website is really nice because you can go on here and look up memes, from like really from the early 2000s up to modern day. They have all of them, and they give you a nice little graph too, about
Oh
them.
God, man, I haven't seen some of those in a while.
Yep. I knew you would recognize them as soon as you said.
Holy
wait.
shit.
And why is that the first picture you?
Yeah, it's without a beard, right? Without a beard.
Just kidding.
Oh man, I need that jacket now.
Yeah. These are some of the OG memes, and these ones are really, kind of just harmless, just little jokes.
I remember Bad Luck Brian. Man, he
Yeah.
had a lot of memes
I
made
remember
Yeah, he
about
did.
him.
Yeah, that
Yeah, he
shit was
did.
funny.
Yeah, he did. Oh, that one really took off. And see, this one is an example of one that I think is made by some agency and purposely put on 4chan.
Yep.
Normies join the fight with the alt-right, enlist and red pill yourself today. That red pill stuff is huge even today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huge. And this just shows like how, and while you always talk about crossing over the abyss,
Yes.
in your shows when mentioning the Kabbalah and ascending up higher, certain memes, I believe, cross the abyss and cross that threshold of internet versus physical. And I got to shout out, this is a guy that on Instagram goes by Goddess, and he also goes by on YouTube. It's what's his page called? Oh gosh, I can't remember what his page is now. But it's his Instagram is Goddess, and he has this YouTube channel, and he kind of proposed that idea a few years ago before his page blew up. It's huge now. He basically breaks down memes because he reads a lot of Carl Jung and those type of guys and Reichs, and so he had proposed the idea of crossing the threshold, and ever since he said that, I'm like, damn, he's so right. And I was looking up Pepe, and here it is. This guy that started out on the internet is literally being mentioned at a Hillary Clinton campaign run. She went on live television and talked about how we have to shut this thing down. Hillary crusade against the alt-right and meme warfare. Like it's really real, It's not just something on the internet no more. It's physical now. It crossed that threshold between digital and physical.
Well, I mean, really, a meme. I mean, it pretty much is probably now like, I mean, it's like a talisman, really.
Well,
Mm,
you know too why they get so irritated with memes. It's because the human mind, our attention span is so short. The amount of information that you can get from a meme is more information than you would ever get in a full day of reading articles, because
that's so true.
people don't keep their focus on anything that long. Our attention span is no longer than 5 minutes.
Absolutely, that's so true. TikTok made that worse
Mhm.
too, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
True. Oh yeah, it's so true. Gosh, and now this was crazy. The Popeyes chicken sandwich. This happened pre-COVID, if people can remember those days, 2019. They had this, and now it was even funny because this meme even resurfaced. It was like, I swear, the Popeye chicken sandwiches gave people COVID. Popeye's chicken had this. They came out with a chicken sandwich in 2019, right? It's just a chicken sandwich. There's nothing crazy about it. But for whatever reason, Black Twitter lost its mind and was talking and made all these memes. You saw all these memes about Popeye's chicken. It was everywhere on the internet in 2019. Everywhere.
Right,
Wow.
and that was a big thing between Popeyes and Chick-fil-A. And
Yeah.
which one, I remember doing a show on that
Oh, wow.
about which one is the Heaven's Chicken and Devil's Chicken. Yeah.
That's insane. That's crazy. And that just shows you how these memes can really like spark conversation and really, get people wondering things. Because here it is, $23 million in free advertising in memes. I don't know how they calculated that, came up with that number, but that is insane that they made that much revenue from people making jokes about it, Like, it is crazy. And it just gets wilder as we go on, because now you have whole rappers. And now this is why I like Phil. This is why I like presenting this information, because I have a unique perspective. I grew up in, kind of like urban area, not the best, not the worst. They grew up in some hoods and stuff, but I'm in touch with the hip hop and youth culture, so to speak. So like I pay attention to a lot of these rappers and meme culture and stuff. And this guy was huge in 2019. I'm talking about, he went from unknown to like half a million followers on Instagram, over 400,000, almost 500,000. He had a HBO docuseries, I believe. He got signed to a record label. All this off of a few rap songs and a bunch of memes. It's crazy. It's really crazy. TJX6. His whole thing was, he was a scam rapper. So his name X6 literally is, the X6 is a scamming machine they use to rip off credit cards and stuff.
I was just gonna
Holy
say,
shit.
I was just thinking about that at the gas station. They just had a big story about that, where you should never use a card to pay at the pump, because they can rip off your card so easy.
Oh yeah, yep. And that's what he was big on, scamming. He would make songs about scamming. I mean, it's not really good hip hop in my opinion, but it's not meant to be good hip hop. It's like meme hop, really, if you want to call it that. It's just a joke. It's meant to be short lived. Like he's not even really relevant anymore. They took his page down so many times. Like, he really, the only place you find him is on, the fringe sites and his hardcore fans. That's really about it. And I pulled this article from the same website, or this quote right here. The Baby, Blueface, Meg Thee Stallion, NLE Choppa, all these other artists are making really big waves just using memes. Same thing with Tekashi 6ix9ine and Lil Pump. They both fell off hard, but all they were jokes, and they made a career out of that. And that's how powerful memes can be. They can use these internet things to manifest money. You can manifest lots of things with them, not just money, but as we'll see later on, some pretty dark shit.
Well, that's what I was even saying before about it being to me, like a meme is a talisman in a sense, because you're going to take like this idea, this whatever, a meme really is. It's just an archetype or an idea that you're putting into, I guess, digital form, format. So you're putting a thought and you're pretty much putting it out there for people to pass out freely.
Right.
As well. And it's just,
and making it easy to pass out too. And it's almost like the more people come across it, the more energy it picks up, and it just grows.
Especially
and
if
grows
people
and
agree
grows.
with it or fucking identify with it or like it. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Exactly. And I just threw this up just in case people don't know who 6ix9ine is. But even his name, I think he knew. He may not have been the smartest person, but he definitely knew what he was doing with these numbers and the symbols he throws up and stuff. Because he was able to make a lot of money in a short amount of time for doing what he was doing. But yeah, all he did was just make a lot of internet jokes. His music was so, you know.
Oh, I've seen him before.
Oh Lord, he reminds me of those. What were those twins?
Oh, the Island Boys.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
Lord,
the Island Boys.
help me.
Yeah, they were human memes too. Great example. They were also human memes. You know, that's what they are, human memes. Like, and like people just go all over the top with these memes. 6ix9ine reportedly testifies that actress Scott Jackson, remember the Train 9 Bloods? Like, he was snitching on everybody. He got locked up and started telling on everyone.
Yeah, it's so funny because I was gonna ask you. Somebody in the chat said 6ix9ine the snitch boy, and I was gonna ask you.
Absolutely, they know. Absolutely, it's funny because he was literally. Now I don't know his life, but from what I've seen and read online and researched, he was just a regular guy, and he wanted to really take off with music, and he had been rapping for a little bit, and then he ended up getting in with some Train 9 Blood members in New York, and they were extorting him. They let him shoot his music videos, go around and play the part, and they were using him to smuggle drugs around the country at his different shows and stuff, And once it all caught up to him, then people start getting arrested. They got him, then they start questioning him, and he got a lot of people a lot of time in jail. A few people were serving over 40 years, 50 years, which I mean, rightly so. They were breaking the law, but it's like, he went in there and caused all this chaos just so he could manifest what he wanted,
Magic.
Yep, exactly. That's all it is. And Storm Area 51 was another crazy one that happened 2019.
Yes, I remember that.
Yep, and that started on Facebook, I believe. Or may have started on 4chan.
Yep.
Yeah, that one was crazy. And it didn't really pan out to much of really anything. It was really just like a corporate grab pretty much towards the end of it, because they've been trying to do that now. Corporations are like co-op these internet trends and try to capitalize on them however they can. So that's really all that turned into. But just a good example of how literally an internet joke manifested into this thing where a couple people got arrested. They have a lot of power. And the government even responded to it. And, they gave out a little warning and stuff. And actually, what's interesting, I was following this guy on Twitter. I think his name is We Are Change or something, Luke Rizowski, I think. And he was live streaming there. And they used a EMP type device. They cut out everyone's Wi-Fi. And it was a few people talked about it. They cut out the Wi-Fi. Yeah, so
I remember being somewhere else where they did the same exact thing.
Oh, where was that? Can you say?
Washington.
Oh, okay.
DC. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Yeah, they definitely have the capabilities and the technology to do it. And I feel like they use little times like that. And you were just talking about Grays too, NY. The whole Grays thing. The whole Grays and Aleister Crowley's kind of
Lamb.
Lamb, yeah. There you go. So this may even been kind of a ploy on that, because you see a lot of the Lamb's imagery with the gray alien.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like a predisposing you to something. So then when you see it again, it's not that much of a shock. Yes.
Exactly. Yes. And that's what it is too, because it's this whole alien thing, like they're kind of teasing at the fact that the government knows information that we don't, and they're not disclosing it to us. So let's storm it and figure out, what it is.
Yeah, and I would even say just now it's just more popular too. Like for some reason,
It is.
Well, it had to get more popular because we have the whole Project Bluebeam on the horizon.
Whatever the fuck comes next, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
The next invisible killer.
Yeah.
Exactly. And in 2016 November, right around the election time, look what's trending. Meme magic.
Yeah.
Meme magic. And see, now this is the part. This is just a real basic. Because I had got a book on magic from the library, so it was just some real basic entry level stuff. But you could let me know, NY, if this is accurate. I don't want to be putting out wrong information. I would like to update if it's not an accurate description. But I kind of just wanted to give a real rudimentary in case, because I didn't know who my audience was going to be when I presented this at the library. And even now, it's people from all kind of ranges. Most people that listen to this show are probably going to have some sort of former knowledge, but just in case. Chaos magic, is a contemporary magical practice. Chaos magicians subsequently treat belief as a tool, often creating their own idiosyncratic magical systems and frequently borrowing from other magical traditions, religious movements, popular culture, and various strands of philosophy.
Sounds good. Well, my idea, believe it or not, of chaos magic might be different than most people's too. So,
yeah, as someone who's actually practiced it, and not someone outside looking in.
well, yeah. Well, see, I think people. Chaos, I think, all depends on how you're looking at it. I mean, like, again, I think a meme would be part of that because chaos just means a change of something. Like, something has changed from one thing to the next. It doesn't have to be bad. Me liking Marlboros one day and then the next day I liking Newports, that would be chaos. But nothing horrible happened. It was just a change of something within my mind, or so like a meme can change your opinion on something. To me, that would be you're helping chaos happen within that person's mind.
Can I just say something on those lines?
Yes.
Think about all of the articles and commercials and things like that came out for the jibber jabber from Big Pharma, because that is the change, right? And the quote new norm. And so it's a huge change from the regular. And so this is something to normalize whatever. So this is a repeated pattern of, magic, if you will, or a spell, or, hypnotism, whatever you want to call it. So if you read,
it's almost like a constant mantra.
Yeah, and if you read what it says up above, the very first thing that popped into my mind was the new scientific community.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Because that's a whole new religion now in itself. Scientism.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I included these people here because I feel like they're probably some of the most influential. Like, I know you've talked about them a few times in why on your show. So that's why I kind of include them, because they made big contributions, and a lot of they added to a lot of what we pull from today as our idea of magic and manifestation, and even with New Age, it all comes from them, and you see that a lot in these memes. So that's why I included them in here.
When I was in the OTO, it was suggested to read their shit too, even though they weren't.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, people read fucking. Especially that Eliphas Levi. I think, honestly, I could be wrong, but I think to get in the Astrum Argentum, that is one of the books that you have to read prior to even becoming a student. Yeah, one of his Dogma, Ritual Magic, some shit like that. It's in like some other language, and then you translate it to English. The name of it, I forgot what it is. Something that's
really interesting.
Something.
I remember I looked up how their robes look. So I remember you and Lux were talking about it. That they had some of the cooler sets, right? I think that's what you said it was, or maybe it was another one.
Oh, the Golden Dawn, yeah, their setup is much more over the top than I think probably for the most part for the OTO.
That's really interesting. Wow.
Yeah, or at least it's more expensive, I think.
Yeah, right, right, yeah. Dang, that's really crazy. I never knew that. And that just shows, how influential they are. And most people, I never even heard of them before I got into this stuff. No clue about them. And even with a lot of this stuff like meme magic, it's not kind of something that the layman's going to usually hear in their everyday, goings and stuff. It's really fringe, especially this stuff here. Because meme magic is a term used to describe the hypothetical power of sorcery and voodoo, supposedly derived from certain internet memes that can transcend the realm of cyberspace and result in real-life consequences. Since its coinage on the image board 8chan, the fictitious concept has gained popularity on 4chan's poll community board and been heavily associated with several in-jokes and shitposting fads on the site, including Ebola-chan, Bane posting, Donald Trump. Some have compared it to the occult concept of the egregor, an autonomous psychic entity which influences the thought of a group of people. Yeah, and that really explains it perfectly. And that's literally what they did. They used meme magic to help Donald Trump get elected, and I believe it played a huge part.
I agree with that for sure.
Huge.
Have you ever heard of the Pikatrix?
No, what's that?
That is, I mean, that's those. It's kind of like to me they're talismans really, but it's like a book on this like these type of talismans. I think it has like 28 mansions of the moon and shit. But the thing is, like with those, like if you were to look at that and those talismans, they're more of like they would almost look like some fancy fucking tarot card. So like it's not even a lot of people always think of sigils or talisman as being something very just, I guess, I don't know, looking a specific way. Sigils are always just like these little fucking lines and circles and whatever, and the talisman is just a little bit more basic. But like if you were to go look at the Picatrix, those things are like pieces of art, or you could see like now like just redoing that. I mean, like with today's technology, it's the same thing as like a photo with an outfit on. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you explained that because the first thing I thought about was Pikachu.
Yeah, same here. That's why I had to ask.
I was like, what is a Picatrix? What?
Dang. Yeah, so it's like you can use a lot of stuff basically to get the same effect. Because I always think of like sigils and talisman as like this sort of like arcane type of almost impossible to create with my bare hands, but it's becoming very accessible to anybody who wants to do it. Anybody can make memes.
Yeah.
There's even templates you can download and already use prior ones, that already exists. And this on May 10th, 2015, 2 8chan boards entered on Meme Magic were created, the Bureau of Memetic Warfare and Magic. Since then, the expression has been used to refer to several happenings from the past regarding internet memes, like the Slenderman stabbing. That was pretty insane too. These little girls were so influenced by Slenderman that they went and like did a sacrifice to him, tried to kill a girl. I can't remember if she died. I think they did kill her actually. Yeah, it was very, very disturbing. Yeah. The posting of the Ebola Chan and I'm not sure what this is, the Umpaqua Community College school shooting, several tactics to use that power, like posting pictures or gifts. The term has also been associated to the Egyptian goddess of darkness, Ket, and a black and white photo of a man shown below. And that's like, heavily Aleister Crowley symbolism there.
Yeah, for sure. That's him with his fucking little hat on, his hood.
Yeah. And here's even like that was in the electricity and magic show I was on. They're using that same symbol right there with the light bulb, with that serpent in there, with the Djed holding it up, and you can see Ogadad, which is Egyptian frog god right here. Depicted. Yes, and that's really where Pepe comes from. So he's an old god that basically 4chan dug up and resurrected to use. And this is another example. So this is like Winter Chan, this is an older one. They were using this basically to spread on 4chan, and I mean it's kind of like it's debatable if it works or not, but the cold harsh winter summoned by Winter Chan would be painful or fatal to those fleeing the Middle East. So they're trying to stop immigration by spreading this image online. It can sound far-fetched, but sometimes it does work, depending on who you ask. And
so that means that we can start posting like Depends diapers to get Joe Biden to get out of the White House.
It's some knee pads when he falls off his bike. We need them all. Really. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. And here you can see, it's crazy. Donald Trump even retweeted Pepe. Like that shit was epic. That was crazy. And really onward, the whole meme magic thing has just skyrocketed since Trump won. Using meme magic, and it's really crazy because you get into a lot of numerology with this stuff too, with a lot of like really fringe kind of esoteric topics. And this is actually from a video game too. And that's why I've been asked you before NY Patriot about like video games and stuff, if you ever thought about that, because I don't play as much video games as I used to. Nowadays, I kind of just play certain ones just for the kind of like the occult meanings in them, because they put so much shit in these games. It's crazy. Like they're like movie, because you know how much symbolism they put in movies. Now imagine a video game that's 80 hours long, full of occult imagery.
Right.
Crazy.
I've seen it on like just games on the fucking iPhone. I've noticed ones that I've played in the past. I was like, yo, what the fuck? There's a lot of weird shit in this game.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And well, it was a Marvel game, so it makes sense.
Exactly. And it's the same studios that produce the games too, so it's all tied in.
You know, I think it's very important, though. I do want to go back. I hate to bring it back up, but I mean, like Pepe, like I really, you know, the whole thing with Keck too, that you did kind of, you know, touched on that. I really didn't say much, but I think that, like, I don't think people really do understand exactly what the fuck's going on with Pepe. Like, it's not, yeah, and like I see Christians like who will put Pepe up in fucking memes with Jesus, and I was like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I know. What the hell?
It's just like, yo, you have zero fucking idea. When we even covered the Order of Quetzalcoatl, I was looking up people's names that were coming up on the site, and I even showed it. I'm sure I've told you this before too. Anyway, if you didn't see it, we were covering like people whose names was on the sites, and one of them went back to. I was able to find his name, but he came up as a Shriner, also, which you have to be a Shriner to get in Quetzalcoatl anyway. And I was just looking to see if he had any companies, you know, ran his shit through Wikipedia, the normal stuff that I do. And like on the internet, like I was able to find that he did have like a website. And when you clicked on the fucking website, it was like an adult website. And on the bottom of it, it had a fucking like frog, like logo thing. And I was like, yo, that looks like Pepe. And it was like, you know, other sites that it's recommending. And when you click on it and you go to it, now this is all on the Wayback Machine. It's like, it says like your adult friend, no, buddy. It wasn't friend, but it was buddy. And it was a fucking frog. And it looked just, and I was like, yo, and I was like, see, like this is associated with these fucking people. Like, and this was out fucking, and I was like, people have no idea what the fuck this is.
Right. And they just share it because, you know, they think it's cool or, you know, it's the hip thing to do or whatever. I always thought it was kind of gay myself. I don't mean that.
You know, I know.
You know what I'm saying.
I'll even say some of the weirdest fucking shit I've ever seen online for theories and ideas and just fucking posts. I hate to say it, come from ones that have fucking those avatars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly.
I hate to say
it. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, yeah. And, wow, thank you for sharing that. That's really crazy. Like, I know a lot of people that probably blew their mind with the frog thing. I remember you sharing that on Instagram. Now I do remember you telling me that. Yeah. That is insane. That is insane. Yeah, and that's the thing with these two, because they seem so harmless and innocent. And that's what makes them dangerous, because there's like a lot of energy and agenda behind these memes that we just don't even realize.
It is, because you're helping to spread, you know, evil energy all over the place.
Exactly. I think that Hillary Clinton, her campaign, they were like worried about it because they knew they were losing the meme war terribly.
Right.
You know, and it's funny because even Elizabeth Warren has a meme team, like from the 2020 campaign. They had for that presidential election, they ran they put millions of dollars into it, and it's the Elizabeth Warren meme team, and they were on TikTok. It was crazy. It was so cringe, and it failed terribly. But you know, she was trying to hop on it too, you know, and trying to take that on. And this is really where it gets interesting, because 4chan, the way the system's set up, it's all anonymous and it's identified by numbers. And so they kind of use the numerology as a way to like prophesize, kind of like
I know exactly what you're talking about. Like if I remember seeing raids done that way. Like if you roll doubles or triples, like you get to choose whoever's fucking YouTube channel we go to and express our condolences for being diagnosed with cancer or some shit. Yeah, I've seen that shit, dude. I was watching that shit happen on 4chan when those motherfuckers started shaving their fucking heads for Bieber.
Damn.
I was watching that shit live starting. I was like, yo, I could not believe how far that went. With people actually thinking that kid had cancer and buzzing their fucking heads.
Dang, man, you're really an OG. I'm so glad I got you on here. You're really like an OG. You know, like you've been there and you saw it firsthand. You know,
that's funny because sometimes when people like if they first heard of 4chan, I'll tell them like, oh, I remember watching that happen. Like I'm like fucking. I had nothing to do with it, but I remember seeing it.
Yeah, that's the stuff I read about. Like, man, that must have been a crazy time. Damn.
Yeah, I was just like, holy fuck, look what that turned into.
Yeah, and I think that the numbers help and could hinder whatever thing they're trying to accomplish. You know, because I feel like there is power in numbers for sure. especially when they're used with a lot of energy, and there's a lot of energy put into what they're representing. Like these trips and these dubs. And this is just what I wrote on here is just kind of like a breakdown of it. Um,
I remember that meme too.
oh yeah,
shit.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an old one. Um, yeah, the numerology's been around for a long time. Like I Ching, it's even in like African spiritual system, Yoruba. They use it a lot. I forget what theirs is called, but it's very similar to I Ching, and yeah, they use numbers to predict and kind
Gematria.
of exactly. Yep, that's
Mhm.
exactly. So
That's interesting. I didn't think of
and
that.
yeah, and this is just a little bit of like basic breakdown for people that's not too familiar with numerology. Each number has its own meaning to it, and numbers have different energies to them: masculine, feminine, water.
Mm-hmm.
So the different energies, you can really play around with them. Um, and you see numbers occur like recurring in certain things, like 4 seasons in a year, 4 legs on a table. 4 is kind of like a stable number, practical. You see 2 a lot in pairs, like up and down, left and right.
Mm-hmm.
um, Yin and yang, man and woman, that type of thing. The dual 2 is really duality. Even 3, 6, and 9.
Yeah,
Those are
that
like the
comes up a lot. I've heard with numbers. I had
yeah.
a guest on one time trying to go into some weird matrix, fucking magnetic shit, and there was
Oh
something
yeah,
up with the
it gets
three,
deep
six,
with
and
that stuff. It
yeah,
gets
yeah, yeah. That shit was insane. And he got into like some 369 stuff. And even when I had Susan Fine Art on, she had mentioned not so much on the show, but after the show, something with like the 369 shit too that she was catching on to as
Oh,
well.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
I you see it a lot too, especially in like electrical theory, like Tesla stuff. He said 3, 6, and 9 were like the keys to the universe or something like that. You see him a lot in like electrical theory too, with like formulas and in the way like when we run our power, we use like 3-phase power, which is like 3 wires in black, red, blue, and that's the most efficient. So you see it a lot. It's really trippy, when you start getting into it.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, these numbers are really, and even like with sacred geometry, you see these numbers, the Fibonacci sequence, pi, these repeating numbers, you see them a lot. Like even in with like electrical theory, right? We have this thing called well, it deals with voltage on the reciprocal. So if you're trying to size a circuit in an electrical system, you have to rate it for continuous, which is 125%, 1.25. But and also in electrical, a rule is that you're not supposed to exceed 80% of a load. So if your house or like a receptacle, the load is 12 amps, or the max is 20, you can't go over 12. So 0.80 is the reciprocal of 125%. If you do the reciprocal of it, it's 0.8. So like it's the same number, but it's in different form. It's really trippy how this stuff works out sometimes. Like especially when you start getting into the mathematics and formulas and stuff, you see them a
Like
lot.
gematria for electricity.
Yeah, exactly. pretty much. And it's really crazy, and you can see it here. Like you see the repeating numbers of 44s, and the let's see, so you see 44 twice here, and then this one's got the 9977. It's just like the chances of it happening. I mean, it's like 1 in a million that would happen. 77. It's really trippy.
Well, you know what? That also, I mean, who knows if this was done on purpose? It just ends up this way. But that was a good. I could see that being a good primer for Q drops. The way people took numbers and shit like that
Absolutely, they
as
were
a
big into
meaning
that too.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Those
absolutely. And this,
motherfuckers, they'll pull any. I saw this post number, and some of those numbers matched the fucking license plate to the car in front of me when I was making a
they
left hand
do.
turn over there, and then I saw a fucking sign about something about Russia. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like eventually you're just grabbing at straws. But I feel like that's also part of the psyop too. They want you to do that. Just
Yeah.
overthink every single thing.
Mm.
But when you see shit like this, it's just like, what? Like, how are all? I have no idea how that's possible. It says Trump will win. Now, who knows? If this predicted or if it was just happenstance. But it's weird. That's all I can say. It's really weird. And even with this presentation, I'm not saying any of this stuff is true. I'm not saying any of it is false. me personally, in my opinion, I think it's kind of somewhere in the middle of it. You know, I feel like it did help it. I feel like it didn't make it happen and it didn't stop it from happening, but it did contribute to something, you know. And I just really want people to just kind of question it and just, you know, kind of observe it, you know, and see how it plays out.
Hey, go back one slide.
Yeah, that actually fucked me up because
look at the very
Lux
first
was
post.
trolling me and I couldn't even pay attention.
No. Go forward. No, go forward.
This way?
Yep. Another one. Look at the first. Nope, back one.
Oh boy. Oh boy. There we go.
Look at the very first post up here at the top of this and what it says.
I can't see it. What does it say?
Shit dick.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yep, yeah.
Which is kind of funny because if you think about, you know, what it says at the bottom there that's circled.
Trump will win.
And then you look at the first one, it was kind of funny. Sorry. Yeah. It's my inner child coming out.
Oh no, we love it. It's always time for jokes.
Somehow we get back to poop.
Yeah.
Janet.
Oh my gosh. And they all got the 7, so I mean, shoot, who knows?
Exactly, and at the bottom of that, it says 7 is the most powerful magical number. And if you look at the shit dick post, there's a lot of 7s in that.
It is.
Oh, that's weird. 7s.
Is that all 7s?
Oh boy.
Who the fuck knows?
And,
that's wild.
Yeah, and even the time too. 1, 7, 21. So many 7s everywhere in that. Yeah, that's weird. And Jesus lives, like, it's just so random. Like, I have no idea. 4chan has its own world, really. And this is literally straight from Wikipedia. And I like the way you guys, the reason you get for using Wikipedia, it's the mainstream. They can't censor you for using it. None of that. It's their information, you know, so they can't cancel me for it. And this is basically just describing the deity Kek, the primordial darkness, the ancient Egyptian Ogadad cosmology of Hermopolis. And he's literally depicted as a frog. It doesn't show it here, but he is associated with frogs. Frog is depicted as a frog-headed man, and the female form as a serpent-headed woman, as were all 4 dualistic concepts in the Ogadad. And it's really interesting because you see these hieroglyphs here, which a lot of people say looks like a man sitting down and maybe like a computer, right? It's really weird. I kind of do see the resemblance there.
You know what's weird, and I guess like this just shows my ignorance. But like even when I first saw that word going around, or that whatever the fuck you call it now, I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And like I googled it, and like even besides seeing like what the internet lingo is, like you would come across this, and I did, and I was like, "This is weird. Like why are people saying that when it goes back to this?" Yeah. Like I even realized that just because of being stupid and not knowing what the fuck Kek meant. I googled it and was able to even see it went back to some type of Egyptian mythology.
Hey. Wow, and that's a great same here. I googled it the same way. It's like what, and I think that's also part of the reason why they use it, kind of lead you back to it, you know, like the breadcrumbs. And you can see the same. And now they say this was a mistake that happened. They printed this frog with these hieroglyphs on it. And they're the same ones from the Kek statue, and this was a really popular image that was spreading around 4chan as well. And they're like, "Oh, it's prophesizing that our Pepe is going to help Trump win," basically, you know. And it's just really weird coincidence that would happen. It's like, what are the chances of that? And it really does look like, especially, I mean, they kind of edited it to make it look more like a computer, but you can really see it, and it looks like the DNA strand, the internet, meme, magic, computer, person using computer. It's so out there that it almost makes sense. Like,
okay, no, follow me on this first.
Yeah, that actually looks like one of the old Apple, right? The Apple computers.
So they were gonna use this Kek, aka God, what was it, God of Darkness, to help Trump win. That is a DNA strand to me. So you got the person and they're manipulating DNA over the computer, and even what was it today? He came out and he was like, These are my jib jabs, and I came up with it, and they're the best thing ever.
Oh
So
shoot!
you have
Oh,
the Prince of Darkness,
Oh,
okay, and look here what it says on here. Thus was known as the bringer in of light.
lights.
What
Yeah.
does it talk about in the Bible? That things are going to get
Mm,
really, really bad, and then they're going to get really, really good, and people are going to be lulled into thinking that, light times are coming and that Jesus is coming back, but it's actually the ushering in of the Antichrist.
absolutely, absolutely.
So,
I
That
mean,
was
like
really
I've
good
even
reading
said
that.
multiple times, even in that movie Mother with the exclamation point that had the chick from Hunger Games in it.
mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
that movie started, it starts off like weird and like shit already starts getting kind of weird a little bit into it. But like shit really didn't get fucked up and shit didn't hit the fan until she went downstairs and opened up a door and a frog jumped through.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dang. And even in
Like
the
like once that happened, shit like really just like went downhill consistently.
yep, that frog symbolism is strong. Even with like the plagues of Egypt, they would have overran with frogs.
Mhm.
And this was a popular 4chan meme that really condensed, like Janice said, it condenses it all down for people to really digest it all. Heck is a deification, the primordial concept of darkness. He embodies a time right before the dawn, making him the bringer of light. And you're absolutely right, Janet. They like really
Mhm.
associate the bringer of light.
Well, see,
Mhm.
like
Portraying
even I was saying before with
Which
chaos.
is Lucifer, right?
yeah,
The
yeah,
light bearer, light bringer.
I agree. yeah.
See, I would think like even like I said before with the whole chaos thing that to me that can just be mentally. And then see like this is how I would see this making sense. Is the god of chaos and he's talking about light. These memes got us thinking that we're being enlightened and it's changing our way of thinking, but it still isn't
Right.
correct.
Exactly. Exactly. And these are some really weird coincidences. So like um this is a real record from 1986. Magic Sound with Pepe the Frog. Right here. Nice magic wand and the spiral here. It's a real record. And it says Pepe right there. Point emerging, probably entering.
Oh
Right there.
wow.
Photoshop.
Interesting.
Real image. And here you can see Pepe right here. This is the album cover for that.
Shit, I gotta watch
Um,
this.
yeah, and a lot of people say that looks like Donald Trump's clock that he has too. And I believe I
I
have
have no
that
idea.
right here.
Oh.
Found it. Guys, and you can see the number, it's 8855. So it's really trippy. Really it does look like it. It looks very similar.
Holy shit. That's weird. It's bugged out.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
stuff is
Mm.
really really weird. And so
That downward spiral with the fucking Pepe is
wild, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
So that's like another
I
thing
know.
too. People will like take that straight to pedo shit, and I don't think it's like to me it's like the downward spiral of existence.
Mhm.
Mm,
Holding
yeah,
a wand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got a magic wand. Yeah.
yeah, and it's
Got
the
a,
green. He's green too.
if you got a
I
clock
believe.
on the other one that's kind of going back, that could be Saturn, and that's all like mindsets and thoughts and
Mhm.
archetypes.
And yeah, exactly. Yep. And this is I was going to just kind of go through this part quickly because the part that I really am excited for is coming up really soon after this.
All right.
This is the perfect storm when memes kill. So 8chan is 3 white national shooters appear to have posted manifestos on the same troll forum. Here's how 8chan became a meme-filled refuge for hate. And so, a lot of these people are getting radicalized on these websites with these memes and these ideas, and they really target these people who come from marginalized households. They got all kind of mental issues, and they're like
Right.
isolated from society. So it's like it really is good at targeting the right people to get these to commit these crimes, you know, and they're really good at targeting these people to do this. It's almost like the sleeper agents. I don't want to get too conspiratorial, but it's almost like the SRA thing on the Mormonism. They have like these kind of agents, whether it be Batman or whatever trigger they have. It's kind of been like programmed, and it may just be like a wide pool that they draw from, and whoever it works on, and whoever
Right.
is triggered, And so, that's and here's the shooter's manifesto isn't in code. So yeah, it's crazy. They go in here and post their manifestos online. Shooter's manifesto was designed to troll. So this is, I put this in here to show that, memes can be dangerous and their ideas can cause people to die.
Mm-hmm.
Magic is something that you gotta be careful with what you play with,
Yeah,
Definitely
right
gotta
with
be
that.
careful with what you play with. Yeah. And here's the part that I'm really excited for. So memes, culture curators. So we have a lot going on here. So I'll start here. This is from an actual government document called the Military Intelligence Professional Bulletin. This is from 2010, April to June 2010. And this is military intelligence. And here you can see here, Memetic Warfare, the Future of Warfare, by First Lieutenant Brian J. Hancock. So they had been talking about this for a long time. And here's the section I wanted to focus on. This article will explore how an emerging subfield of psychology known as memetics can be used to identify and target the specific root causes of insurgency and other challenging social problems such as youth gang violence, the welfare cycle, or the deterioration of the public school system. And we can really see that here. So this is a devious lick challenge on TikTok. And this happened in September of 2021, almost exactly a year ago. And literally what it was a bunch of high schoolers getting influenced by TikTok algorithms, showing them these videos of a challenge called a devious lick. And what it included was them basically taking stuff from school, stealing, I seen microscopes, freaking blow dryers, paper towel dispensers, destroying stuff. Someone tried to get this devious lick, about to hit the biggest lick of all licks. And it literally says here, the deterioration of the public school system. And now I don't really have a lot of proof for this. It's just an idea.
Yeah.
I think that the Chinese government may have promoted these algorithms in American schools, because my girlfriend is saying during this time, she never saw that on TikTok. And she's in Canada. So her algorithm is different from mine in the USA.
Oh, okay.
I never saw that either.
No, neither
Wow.
did I, but I mean,
Wow. And depending on your age demographic, they may show you certain videos besides other people. And I even watched a video that said TikTok algorithm is very specific with what it shows people, because in a Chinese school systems, in Chinese network out there, their TikTok shows their kids engineering videos, science videos,
Of course.
math videos, and you can have it like that, because my TikTok is like that too. I have a lot of like engineering videos, gardening videos, because that's like what I like and what I watch the most on there. So it shows me that a lot. But it's all depending on what they want to show you, and that was really crazy. And then here you have, this is a rapper, YNW Melly, authorized his own mother to be murdered. He's been in jail for a while. And they say right here, this dude's actually a demon. And here you can see youth gang violence. And this is a meme right here. And everybody loves his song. His song went viral. It's called, I don't know what the name of the song is, but it's like, I got murder on my mind. It's this rap song that everybody was listening to. It was in a ton of memes. And now here he is, actually killing people, and they still like his songs. It's really sickening. It really is. And here you have Lil Uzi Vert, which his name is literally Lucifer if you say it fast. Lil Uzi Vert, Lucifer, Lucifer, Lucifer.
wow, yeah.
Yeah, and you see he's throwing up and he's friends with Marilyn Manson. He said that's his role model or whatever. This dude's crazy. He's got the third eye thing going on, throwing up the hand symbols. Lil Uzi Vert officially goes by they them pronouns, so he's pushing the and then here's another one by Hoodville. And this meme page here has like 6 million followers. They're huge. And they're one of the mass mind leaders. The Beehive, they're one of the big queen bees that really promote what they want people to think. And here you see y'all shawty steady talking about hairs by, nails by, lashes by. Man, who the baby by? Because there's a lot of single parent households, especially my generation. Not a lot of people are together after they have children.
Right.
Which creates, a lot of problems. It's not a nuclear family. It's not the ideal, and these memes kind of just normalize and kind of, poke jokes at it, but they really do normalize it. And here it is, Devious Lick Challenge, September 2021. They're literally going through and destroying school stuff, stealing things you can see here. And then I believe that they tried to do a counter meme warfare called the Angelic Yield Challenge, where they do positive things at school. So they kind of put the it's counterinsurgency, you know. Just trying to calm it down because it was getting wild. I was like, wow. Like I even saw it on my local news out here because it was going on at some of the schools. It was crazy.
Well, you remember not so long ago they had people walking up and down those steps, and it was like the same thing with Freemasonry.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Those crates or whatever the fuck, I don't know.
Right. Yes, the crate challenge. You're absolutely right. It's just like the steps of masonry, and you fall down trying to climb up them. It's absolutely. And this is what I was telling you before earlier. See, this meme page is literally the N word, and they have 500,000 followers. Same thing with this one. Oh no, this one no. This is Block A. This is another really big cultural meme page. This one's got almost 1 million followers. Justin LeBoy, he's a very toxic relationship page. And his memes got so big, he has his own show now. He's making a ton of money, all off of influencing people. And, you know, you see his are really just basic. It's a white background, black and white words with some emojis usually. And he's like a thought leader, I say, because what his memes kind of make you insecure, make you kind of weird. Like if you really subscribe to what he puts out there, it normalizes your own toxic thoughts. You know, he's real bad. I don't like him at all. Not a lot of people like him, but apparently some do. But yeah, so this is just to show how much reach and the audience that these pages have. And this is just a couple. I have a couple written down here in my notes. There's another one called Grand Wizard Chat, and that one has 250,000 followers as well. And there's one called Moist Meme Pages. That one has 2 million. Yeah, I know, right? The names be killing me. And the Moist Meme Page is going. Oh. They're just promoting a bunch of OnlyFans girls and shit on there. I did not want to see that.
Well, this one is definitely not from the Moist Meme Page. No, I'm just saying.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And here you can see this is a great example of how memes can push certain agendas, because here you have, and this meme page is actually going against the narrative that they want pushed, but sometimes it's the other way. Normally it's the other way around. You know, normally this is a private meme page, by the way. You have to request to be accepted to get into this one to see, but you can see 20,000 likes. It's a huge audience. It's a huge audience. And so alphabet therapists,
that's the one that you were showing me. That's right.
Yeah. Alphabet therapists are now trying to push a new dangerous agenda demanding pedophiles to be called minor attracted persons with the intent to normalize this behavior. And it's me after listening to this sicko. These dudes throwing up. It's crazy. Like they're really going over the top with this stuff. Minor attracted persons. It's crazy. And then here's another one. So if you're a straight guy and they offer you $20 million to play gay in a movie, you're not doing it. It's like, no, I want to be comfortable with my sexuality. I don't need you pressuring me and trying to make me wonder these weird hypotheses. Just leave people alone. If they don't want to be how that is, let them be. You know, we don't have no problems with anybody over here. If you want to be attracted to whatever you are attracted to, that's on you. But you don't get to push and try to force everyone to accept what you believe in.
Amen.
That's ridiculous. But that's what these memes do. You know, they try to get you and they creep into your mind. Yes. So you wouldn't take 2 million, 20 million. It's like, well, maybe I would. And, you know, it kind of gets people lenient to that. And then they come in with this stuff, minor attracted persons. It's like the snowball effect, you know. And they just slowly boil the water until you're, you know, next thing you know, you're boiling. And here, this one is crazy. This just happened. So Andrew Tate blew up the month of August 2022. He's the most Googled person in the world. Andrew Tate, the most Googled person in the world. Came out of nowhere, literally on the internet, blew up on TikTok because he had people reposting a lot of his clips on TikTok. So he blew up. Now he was on all the big streamer shows, Aiden Ross. He was on I forget some of the other shows, Fresh and Fit podcast. He was on Full Send podcast. He was on a ton of podcasts, talking and he blew up. Next thing you know, Andrew Tate has been banned from TikTok and YouTube, following his recent ban from Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And then you can see here, they doing Andrew Tate like they did Donald Trump. It's crazy how they can ban the president from, regardless of what you think about the president. There's no way you should be censored at all. Because if they would have censored Obama, people would have blew up the White House. Like, it would have
100%. Then there would have been an actual real insurrection.
been. Thank you, exactly.
But sometimes I think that shit's to make you more popular.
Oh, that's so true. And you're right, and why? Because
Well, because first of all, I think that Andrew Tate guy's a jerk off anyway. So I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But even see, like you were even saying what you said, everybody was resharing. That's the whole thing with really magic, in my opinion, is that's how like these memes work, or how people get like can get so popular.
Right. So they're catapulting this guy to stardom, and follow me here on this, and I don't mean to be offensive to anybody that's listening, but think about Alex Jones.
Yeah.
And when they banned him, and then he just like blew up, or censoring Joe Rogan's episodes or whatever.
Right.
Now he's got like more viewers than ever, and
it's promotion.
To me, it's a they're hand picking who their next celebrity is going to be.
Yeah, and the main thing I think, really, when it comes down to it, is that it doesn't even matter what the scenario is. It's just that this person's name has to exist in someone's head who didn't know who they were prior to that.
Right.
Because once I've even said before, it's almost a way in magic. Like I've had my name mentioned on other shows, not in the best of light, but I was like, still now people that had no idea who I was prior to that show now know that there's a person by that name of NY Patriot that fucking exists that did not exist to them prior. Yeah. Now they're going to go and concoct whatever visual or idea they think I am, but I now exist in more people's minds than I did prior. That's actually kind of magic. I hate to say it in itself.
Well, and that's perfect what you said. It is magic, because think about like if you and a friend or whatever are having a conversation about a person that you don't know, and then you immediately get a picture in your head of what you think that person looks like, or who you think that person is. And so especially your ears must burn, because I talk about you on my show a lot, but not in a bad light.
Thank you.
I love you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is that repetitive nature, and then that name sticks in your head. And then, you're having a conversation with somebody else down the road, and you're like, yeah, what was the name of that person that, my friend Lux was telling me about, or, whatever. And so your mind is going to subconsciously bring that up again.
Yeah. Totally, and that's what it is. It gets in the subconscious.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And you're so right. And why, after they banned him, he had 130,000 people watching him live, which is insane numbers. That's more than people freaking watch the nightly news. Like that's huge numbers live. That's insane.
You know what I watched someone do once, and I have no problem even fucking mentioning this guy's name, David Nino Rodriguez. That guy, he was huge on fucking Instagram. Because he was an Xboxer that all of a sudden watched some fucking conspiracy show and was like, oh my God, people got to watch this. He started getting on, like, in my opinion, like any guest that he did have on his, like, he recorded himself live on Instagram. To me, we're all like fucking shady shills, but hate even using that word. But, like, all of a sudden it was like, oh, they're starting to shadow ban me. I'm going to have to get a site now. And then turns it into, like, Nino TV or whatever it is. It was only $2 or $3 to join the site. But you have to think, when you're looking at this person and they got, like, 400,000 followers, let's say only 100,000 of them switch over. Exactly. You know how much fucking money that is they just started making within a month?
Exactly. That's what.
I'm getting shadow banned. You got to pay to see my shit now.
Yeah. And then it's name recognition too, for branding purposes for their merchandise. And so I'll guarantee there's like a big merch store attached to that, and people have to buy that because it's celebrity.
Yep, it's crazy.
And then the fact, they're getting shadow banned, they must have something good to say.
Yep, it makes you want to they create that scarcity. You want to look for more. Yeah, and that's what Andrew Tate's doing. He's got a Hustle University. They say he had like 100-some thousand people signed up to it, $50 a month. That's $5 million a month that he's making off his Hustlers University. And it's really funny because Andrew Tate's part of the Manosphere, right? The Red Pill is this phenomenon they have going on now called the Manosphere, the Red Pill community. Kevin Samuels was a big member of that. He just died, I think, earlier this year or late last year. And so Andrew Tate kind of came in that power vacuum, and now he's the new Red Pill toxic masculine leader. And it's funny because they said there's a war going on between James Charles and Andrew Tate for who's going to be the new group leader for the youth. And they said they canceled Andrew Tate, so they're trying to make it James Charles. And this guy has been outed as a pedophile multiple times. He uses his platform. He's like 20, 24 or something, 23.
Isn't he the one that dressed up like he was at the White House or something?
Oh, God,
I'm not sure.
I think it is, and it was like he was gonna be, I don't know, like Kamala's assistant for the day or some shit. I know that's who this person is, and it was like, hey girl, like I'm totally gonna be here doing the White House business today.
He's a makeup artist on YouTube. Like, are you kidding me?
Help.
Yep, that's him.
Help.
Yeah, that's all we can say is help. And but I mean, we went on Andrew Tate is the youth leader either, so it's really like
looks like he's got some part Luca Magnotta in him.
Oh wow, dude!
He looks like he has that capability in that picture, whatever the fuck that was.
Super creepy.
And now this part, NY, I sent you this the other day on Instagram. And it's crazy because I just listened to your Drake episode you did, where you had that great guest on there. I forget what her name was, but she's from Canada as well.
Yes, yeah.
And she was talking about Drake, and she told a lot of stuff I didn't know about. Like I never knew his name. I meant do right and kill everything, or that he was like a well-known Satanist. Like I knew he was always into some stuff, but like you guys, that was a great episode. And so now that's why I'm so great that you got that primer on Drake, because he literally flew this girl out within a month of her blowing up, right? And look what her song is, Get What I Want. That's like Do As Thou Wilt. And it's like, is that a coincidence why he's promoting her now? So literally this is her song. It's terrible. A lot of people said it sucks, but she's just getting attention because obviously her body, she's young. And she's sexualizing herself almost like a Scarlet whore. So
yeah, especially with that colored hair.
Yeah,
she got the green, and she got the green on in that other shirt.
Exactly, and Drake is very well rounded in his stuff. I'm sure he knows how to recognize all this stuff, just like we do, And
well, I do think I think the way like sometimes these people they express themselves in certain ways that show like like I do with like my silly outfits sometimes. Those are really just actually all, to me, it's all occult symbolism. It just looks fucking silly. But to other people who understand what it means, they would see it and be like, all right, that dude actually, knows some weird shit probably. If they understood why I was wearing that stuff. Mm-hmm. So, like, somebody who knows would understand that I know because of something I'm wearing that other people have no idea. Mm-hmm. Or just think I look silly or stupid, which is what we see half these artists do nowadays anyway. They would wear silly, stupid shit. It's because they're fucking making a statement.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true. It's for those with eyes to see. They're recognizing and pick it up. Absolutely. And that's why I think this is a great example of that, because she's promoting the right message. She's being over-sexual. And that's why Drake is like, it's like, okay, she might be the next one that we can use to basically live out this archetype that we want to venerate, because here you can see the meme pages show you everything. The meme pages are, like you said, the meme pages are really news, and I follow them, and they really give you a pulse on what's going on in the culture. He literally flew
for real pulse. It really does. You see that shit, and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I gotta share this. Fuck.
What was that?
Yo, this is gonna be the one that's gonna break the internet and take down the government when I reshare this one. Fuck.
Yeah. Literally.
Oh shit.
You could see her with Drake literally right here. And then now, this was just the other day I found this on her story. 500K plays. 500K. Like, she's blowing up. It's crazy the amount, and now we know a lot of this stuff is fudge. They can.
Yo, you know what's interesting, real quick? James
numbers.
Watkins, who also owned 8chan, also owned Mod Squad, and Mod Squad also does shit like that. They can push stuff and make fake numbers and make things like seem important when they're not.
That's really.
Do they work for Twitter as well?
Well, I don't, they did mention that they said that something about we have worked with the government, but we can't tell you what we've done. They do say something just like that on their site, actually.
That's so interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow. And they artists have been exposed too for faking their stream numbers, so we know all this can be manipulated. And especially if she's promoting a song like this, and the full lyric is she says like basically it's to the tone of I look good so I get what I want. It's like do as thou wilt. She's controlling her own will.
She's playing the Scarlet
Whore.
Like you said, she's playing the Scarlet Whore.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. She's playing it. Exactly. And you can see Drake DMing her here. And then now this is really what I find is the biggest problem with all this. School starting, be ready for these ratchet talky kids at 8 a.m. screaming, you thought I was feeling you? And that's her song. You thought I was feeling you that much. And basically that's her song. And they're gonna play her song on the radio. All these kids are gonna be yelling, screaming at 8 a.m. Like they were playing WAP on the radio. The Cardi B song and Nicki Minaj, WAP. They were playing on the radio like 8 a.m. I'm like, yo, it's too early for this right now. Like they get it stuck in these kids' heads and they just it's crazy. And she's from New York too, NY. She's from New York.
Yeah. Damn.
Yes. The Bronx, I believe. Yeah, it's crazy.
And WAP is also on the Moist Memes website.
I'm sure it is.
Oh yes. Hell yeah. Yeah. And now this is where I really wanted to do more of the listening because this is another page, and I blocked this page out just for privacy reasons because I don't necessarily want to promote traffic over there. But this is this type of stuff that they use with their memes. They're promoting this type of stuff. So here there's this sacred prostitute, and I feel like it relates so much to this energy here.
Yeah.
Open to more joy and enjoyment in your daily life by allowing yourself to experience more pleasure. Unleash all the magic you have been suppressing, the magic that is behind all life creation, all of Shakti. And this is like really new age stuff. Rewire the way you relate to sexual energy, and thus the way you relate to your body, to partners, family, children, Mother Earth. The wild woman archetypes, Kali, Lilith, Persephone, sacred prostitute. And then this is just like straight up promoting, I guess, Satanism, which is really wild that this stuff is just on Instagram, like very easy to find. And they use hashtags and stuff to promote it. I feel like this is exactly what's going on with the promotion of this new girl, Ice Spice. She's literally embodying this energy, and that's helping her to reach a higher level in this music industry where they all are in this club and they all well studied in this stuff.
Yeah, no, I think I've even said when it comes to the music industry, I do think that it's probably one of the bigger, in my opinion, the more cult, and I even think thalamic seems to be the overtone.
Definitely, especially
unfortunately. And I'm not saying that because I was in the OTO. That's just, then again, that could be because I see that, because that's what I was in. Maybe if I was in something else, I'd see that more, but I do, for me, see a lot of thalamic shit in music.
There's a whole rap album by Absol, who's in Kendrick Lamar's group TDE. His album is called Do As Thou Will, and he's even doing the Aleister Crowley pose. He's got songs that are he's got one song called Raw War Backwards. Like the whole album is thalamic, and he even raps. He got rap bars talking about Thelema and stuff. I'm like, what the hell? This is crazy.
You know what's funny? I saw. I came across one time Tyler the Creator, like I think it was like an album cover or something, and I thought, I was like, oh, it's fucking B shit again, and I just thought it was weird and I didn't think much of it, and I was like, I really don't know who this fucking dude is either, and then like randomly a fan, can't remember who it is, sorry, but they sent me like a picture of him wearing like an Aleister Crowley t-shirt, and I was like, oh fuck, look at that.
Dang, yeah. So many hip hop artists are into that stuff. It's insane. A lot of them.
Oh yeah, fuck ton of them.
For sure, for sure. And then this is kind of winding down the presentation here. Epstein Island. There's a lot of because we're all familiar with that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of memes that were coming that made Epstein kind of last longer than they wanted it to. They wanted that to get swept under the rug quick, but I feel like the memes really played a big role in keeping that alive. Any memes you're gonna see for the next few weeks, Epstein didn't kill himself, and they're really using the Trojan horse, and that's a perfect description of what memes are, because memes are Trojan horses. On the surface, it's a joke or whatever they're trying to say, on the surface level, and then underneath, there's something deeper that your subconscious is going to take in. And you can see that Epstein means, I like to solve the puzzle. Epstein did not kill himself.
I remember that one. That one was shared a lot.
Yeah, a lot of these got a lot of traction.
Oh yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, I feel like this is a great example of how the common people were able to really keep these elites responsible for what they did and not let it get swept under the rug like the mainstream media wanted it to be.
Right.
Well, you know what also happened too with, I really hate to say it and sound like a fucking asshole, but when it comes down to even Epstein, you have so many people just because of that one scenario that got involved into conspiracy theories, came across a certain idea, and now knows more than people that have been into this shit for fucking 20 years and starts coming out with this radical fucking bullshit shit, just stupid stuff. And I'm right, you're wrong. Which I'm like, yo, where the fuck did this all come from?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
and like, honestly, it's the memes. Because back in the day, like I'm sure for me and Janet, or even yourself, we were used to like having to read shit, having to watch like long presentations.
Right.
Like it wasn't a fucking meme. We didn't have that shit back in the day.
Well,
when we were
Jordan
doing
Maxwell and them people.
So I'm getting so it's like or sometimes you would actually you'd hear the sources and then I can look that up myself.
I was going to say, back in my day, we didn't have the internet.
Well, yeah.
Especially for you.
But like even saying
really
like,
the OG, you had to look it up the hard way.
That's right. You looked it up in an Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah, it's harder to get information back then too. It's more
Yep.
It was much more, and I feel like that's kind of a bad thing now too. There's access to so much. We're drowning in information because there's so much coming from everywhere. You don't know what's what.
Right.
You don't know what you're getting into. I mean, even a lot of new age stuff has been co-opted, and it's just like completely like the gateway experience. Like you can get sucked up into that stuff and not even realize it. With like Abraham Hicks, like I remember she was on a rap album I listened to. I'm like, who the hell is this? Talking about she's summoning some in intellectual power, and then come to realize after listening to NY show, her and a lot of the other people were like into masonry and stuff, tying back from Jehovah and the Mormons and stuff. I'm like, damn. And Abraham Hicks, I'm like, no wonder. And I'm like, I never really I always had a feeling about her, but it's really just everywhere. And I think this is a video I have. Let's see if it'll play. This one was pretty funny.
Oh, I can't hear it for some reason though. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Oh no, it's not coming through. That's weird. Yeah. Yeah, there's no sound, unfortunately, bro.
Oh, you can't see it?
No, we can see it. There's just no sound like this, so I can't even.
Oh, it's not playing?
Well, no, it's playing. Just there's no sound to it. Like we don't hear the sound. So.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know why he's doing that. Probably because of my microphone. But basically, he's talking about like this K9 military dogs, and he just throws in Epstein didn't kill himself.
Oh yes, I remember that
that
shit. Yes.
Yeah.
And that was on live television on Fox.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. That was an awesome moment for that whole campaign. And then after that, after people had already been talking about Epstein for the longest, then they finally, the mainstream is like, all right, we got to say something about it. We got to address it. So of course they bring out Trevor Noah and Hillary Clinton. How did you kill Jeffrey Epstein? Like he asked her jokingly. He's so stupid, but it's just like it's obviously a piece to kind of shoot down the whole idea of him killing himself. Oh no, we brought Epstein to justice. There's no more of elite pedophile trafficking. All that stuff is done. No, it's more of that stuff. Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah.
You.
And
right.
we all believe that too.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. And yeah, that's all I had, guys.
Awesome. No, thank you. That was
That was
a
a
lot.
fun
Yeah,
conversation.
that was
No
really
problem.
good.
Yeah, if there's anything else you guys want to ask or anything, I pretty much covered everything I had to. I think. Um,
Well, no, I mean, I think you showed a good progression of not even politics, just mind, thinking, a whole bunch of different stuff of how
Right.
it really affects a lot of different areas. Memes are huge, and I really do think, like I was saying before, to some people it really is just a talisman that they're tossing out and letting other
yeah,
people just throw around for them.
Right.
absolutely.
And who's generating in the first place
Yeah, right.
that, I mean, is it something that Three Letter Bob is
Yep.
you know, designing in his little think tank and then putting it
Absolutely.
out there, and then they because they know that's part of their psychological warfare on people.
Mm.
Yep. Like it says here, they I believe they create a lot of them.
Oh,
I
100%.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I even listened to. I mean, this isn't like saying anything that the guy hasn't come out and said himself. Lon Milo Duquette from the OTO even said himself that he even did shit on his tarot cards to help sell more of them.
Hmm.
I mean, if you're, I mean, so why would it not? And those are pictorial things. It's art
Hmm.
again.
Yeah.
Why would if he's saying he did that? Why would it be hard to believe that somebody else would be doing this shit to just throw it on the internet?
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And at the end of the day, whether it's just a innocent joke or it's something sinister behind the meme, they're genes, and I do believe that they affect our subconscious, and
Hmm.
they spread and they affect, and they're living. They have energy behind them, orgone energy, and they definitely spread, and they cause chaos, whether it's like you said, neutral,
Yes.
positive, negative. You know.
Yes. Yeah, like that's like what I was saying before. Like, all right, people who've never heard you before, if they listen to this now, you exist in their mind. That was
Hmm.
chaos because you did not
Right.
exist in their mind prior. It's as simple as
Right.
that. It just has to be a thought I mean, I even think a lot of
Hmm.
stuff like with the LGBTQ shit and a lot of stuff when it comes to sexuality, I do think sometimes the reason it even catches off or becomes a thing is because the idea just gets put out there.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there really may not be really anybody into that, but we're going to say there is, and we're going to give this a name, and now
Hmm.
people will latch onto it for some form of security or part
Right.
of
Which is what and to your point, that's what they do all the time, because they're trying to make it seem like that section of the population is a larger section
Mhm.
of population than everything else,
Yeah.
when it's not. But because it's talked about so much,
then it will start to
and
grow.
because it's put out front and center,
Yeah.
literally every single day, all the time, there's always some kind of recycled news story about it. That's what fools people into believing that
Mhm.
population is larger than what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
basically, when you want to be a piece of shit, magic is selling an option, or an
Right.
idea, or an opinion.
Selling a deception.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah. Really. And it's
Yeah.
scary too, because I feel like, especially my generation and younger, is in for some deep shit, because
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so much stuff
100%.
coming down the pipeline. Like, all right,
Yeah.
it's stuff it's really overwhelming at this point.
Hmm.
It's so much, and then that's why I'm grateful for people like you and NY and you guys is
Thank you.
uh,
Well, thank you for coming on.
yeah, no problem,
Yeah.
and you
You
guys
appreciate that.
because you're enlightening people, spreading
Trying,
information,
trying.
and helping to break open this mold and cast spell that they have on people. It's insane.
Well, and you know what it is too. Especially me, having kids,
Hmm.
I know what kind of things they're going to be in for, and it's my job to educate them, not the school system or work or anything else. It's my job to make sure that they have the information that they need to go forward so that they can turn around and share information as well. So if,
Yeah.
even if I can make a difference for one person, I've done my job. So,
Yeah, exactly.
yep.
Exactly.
Very well
So
said. Very well said.
Hmm.
So true. Oh, and before we wrap it up, please, I wanted to ask you too, and why is this pretty accurate, or would you say this is kind of like leading people into something?
Oh, this one right here. I mean,
Sacred prostitute, wild woman archetype. Because I know a lot of this stuff, they kind of just like they cut out a lot of stuff and trying to fit it on there.
well, yeah,
This
my
reminds me, hold on real quick.
Uh-huh.
This reminds me of posts that were going around in the summer that people shared repeatedly about camps for female children to attend, where they were teaching this kind of curriculum at these camps, and that this was posted like actually online with a little bit of different
Oh, I think I remember what you're talking about.
yeah, there was like two
Um,
different summer camps that were exposed, and it was summer camps for girls, and it was this kind of stuff here.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was something very close to that. I'm trying to remember
Hmm.
who it was. 'Cause I
Only
remember
it
that
didn't
shit.
say prostitute,
Yeah.
but it
Mm.
was like the name categories were different, but it's like your child will learn to see all the ways that you have been hiding and denying, blah blah blah. So they would take out some of these, titles or whatever, but this is exactly the kind of shit that was posted on those summer camps.
Oh, that's insane.
Hmm.
That's all. Well, what I was gonna say about this is, I mean, just reading this stuff, in my opinion, and it's not to sound like trying to sound like a cocky asshole or anything, but like, no, but
We
if
like you that way.
no, but if somebody
Yeah.
came across this and read this and thought I understand what this means, you're
Mhm.
wrong. This is
Yeah.
the first time you've ever heard any of this stuff, and you think you're looking at it and you think this explains it, and you understand it, you're wrong, and that's the
Thank,
problem with it in itself.
thank you,
Right.
thank you.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's
It's
what I
just
thought.
because
And
it's the
then-
most basic. Like sometimes when you break it down so basic, it's almost like the farthest thing from what it really meant or the truth.
Uh,
You know, like
Mhm.
you mentioned New Age before. Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe this is probably like New Age ways to say or talk about older things. But in my opinion, New Age should just be like the new dumbed down version of what we're trying to talk.
Yes.
the for dummies version, basically.
I hate to say it, but it's because, and then it's so far off from what it like originally came from. You have to wonder, like, is this just being marketed and sold, or is this just like out of
Yeah.
stupidity and ignorance?
But
Yeah.
that's what they're famous for doing, though, is rebranding or remarketing the same thing, recycling
Yeah.
the same thing over and over under a different name.
That's so
Yes.
true.
It's in literally everyone. It's in the food system, the medical system, literally everything. That's what they do. Because or think about the movies right now. They can't create anything new, and so they just have to keep redoing the same movies over
Right.
and
Yeah.
over again, and just putting different colored characters in there. So
Yeah.
changing the storyline up a little bit.
We're just making one gay now.
Yeah, yes. I was just gonna say Buzz Lightyear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Captain America, right? Isn't he gay now?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They add some POC, like some crap. Oh, look, we have some minorities in here now. So
Yes.
it's accepted. Oh, hey.
Yeah. So we're gonna remake let's say Star Wars, and the new thing is, what is it, the Asian Pacific
Oh yeah, yeah.
thing
Yo,
that it's been like TV commercials here
yeah, I know.
lately.
Yes.
And so they're gonna remake the whole, like Star Wars franchise, and just change up the characters.
Yeah, literally. That's their new version of creative, and it's so dangerous too how they do this because also like these memes are a lot of people's first introduction to spirituality, and I know
Oh
for me especially
yeah.
like was I first started getting into spirituality on Instagram, seeing memes and stuff about it, and I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. But I'm not the type to just believe what I see the first time I see it. So I, kind of did my own research. That's how I found your show because I just got me interested. So I'm like, let me find multiple sources and see, if it really adds up. But I know people in my personal life who get caught up in these Instagram posts and these pseudo Instagram teachers who are just regurgitating information like this that's already watered down and so far from the truth, and they accept it as the whole truth, and they're like radicalized and convinced that they're gods walking and all this nonsense. It's like what? Like it's really crazy how this stuff could mess up people's lives.
People are easily manipulated into believing
anything.
very strange things or things that that other people deem to be strange. Let's put it that way. Yeah,
I agree with that for sure.
Absolutely, but yeah, thank you for.
Thank you, D, for sure. You really don't have anything to plug, right? I mean, you don't have your own show, right? So
no.
Okay.
Eventually, that'd be the goal. But yeah, I just got the Instagram for now.
All right. I mean, do you want me to put your Instagram in the show notes after the fact?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That'd be cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, thank you.
Nice. And you are in our. Are you in our Element server?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So people can find you in there too. We had people in there that were even telling me they wanted to have you back on. So.
Oh shoot! That's what's up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So,
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Take a bow. Pat yourself on the back.
Hopefully, don't hear this one and want me again. That would be great.
Yeah. Thank you. Janet, thank you very much for hopping on too as well.
Thanks
that was
for
awesome.
having me back. You're such a sweetheart. I just love you to pieces. And D, it was a pleasure to meet you, my dear.
Thank you. Same here. It was great having you here, and thank you for your input. Really learned a lot from you, and it was great having your perspective on this. It was really great.
Thank you.
Janet, you want to let people know about your show as well and where they can find it?
Okay, if you want to stalk me, you're more than welcome to. You can find me on Instagram at Deplorable Janet. You can find me on Twitter at No Janet, KNOW. You can find my podcast, Deplorable Nation, on every podcast plus actual activist with an S on the end .com, and you can watch all of my live or my videos, I should say, of the podcast on Roku TV on Patriot Podcast Network.
Nice. And I think I have all your links saved on a notepad, so I will add that to the show as well. Thank you for coming on such a short notice. I had a fun time though.
Thanks for asking me.
Oh hell yeah!
It's always fun hanging out with you.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, I gotta see what she's doing because I did tell you I gotta have you on more. The co-host.
Hey, wait.
Stick around shit.
You messaged me and it made me moist, and so when we get done, I will post that on moistmemes.com.
There you go.
Yo, what the? Awesome. Okay, well, that was an awesome show.
Oh boy, yeah. That was a joke, people.
Yeah. All right. So her D's link will be in the bottom. The people in the Element server say what's up to the dude. When you hear the episode drop, or unless you're already listening now on the live. Thank you all for jumping in on the live. Asha, Jonah, Colorado Dank, I saw you in there. Teresa was in there. Eric, a couple other people, I think. So Hawk. Thank you so much all for jumping in and saying what's up and commenting. That's why I do the lives. And and thank you, Janet, again for coming on.
You.
And everybody's links will be in the bottom. And until the next one, everybody be well. Later.